they're doing that now, sneaking around, jumping in the bush. A bush party here is right above Arizona State. They want to take him out before the level 20 minutes will be the just teleported here. Where's the Sundering? I would love to see it. A Void Prison comes out. Shot low on HP, but the Void Prison it goes Sundering.
10 seconds for everyone. It looks like Arizona State turning. They might be going for a victory here.
All out.
Hello everyone and welcome to Money Moves TV. We are going to be covering how to make money from esports. Who would have known that gaming could soon become the world's largest sport? Yet the international esports industry is one of the world's most rapidly growing and profitable markets. With industry growth in the double digits and tournament cash prizes in the millions, this industry is truly booming. So in this video, we'll be looking at opportunities for gamers to make money and how non-gamers can also cash in on the action. So how did we get here? Let's start by looking at the history of esports. This is William Higginbotham. He was a physicist that was on the team that created the first nuclear bomb. In October 1958, he revealed the first ever video game at the Brookhaven National Laboratory. It was called Tennis for Two, and to his surprise, people actually enjoyed it. They played Tennis for Two on this ugly looking small analog computer. You had to adjust the two knobs and push a button to play the game on an oscilloscope. So over time, people kept coming back to play Tennis for Two, and it was very popular. But it wasn't until Pong was created in 1972 before the gaming industry really started to take off. You can see this game here. It's literally a simulated table tennis game. I mean, you still see similar versions in arcades today. Pong was created by video games company Atari, and you can see here how it was placed in an upright cabinet for you to play from. The first video game tournament was also in 1972. Competitors gathered at the Stanford Artificial Intelligence Lab in Los Altos, California. They battled in the cyber rocket combat game, Space War. At the time, this lab was one of the only ones in the world with hardware sophisticated enough to run this. The winner of the tournament was given free subscription to the Rolling Stone and an opportunity to be glorified by their subscribers. So what does the esports industry look like today, and why have billionaires such as Mark Cuban and Warren Buffett, or companies such as Alibaba and Amazon invested in it? Let's quickly run through the numbers behind the esports industry at the moment. I'll be using this infographic from www.visualcapitalist.com. I really love that name. You guys should check them out as they release high quality infographics on various industries. I'll let you know when Money Moves start doing them, so for now, check them out. So the total revenue from esports last year was $650 million. Just to put things into perspective, the total revenue for the global gaming industry last year was $138 billion. As you can see from the graph on the left, growth has been in the double digits for 3 years in a row. I mean, how many industries can you see 51% and 41% growth in a year? Roughly 200 million people watched esports last year, and it is estimated to grow 20% up to 300 million in 2020. Most of the money in esports comes from sponsorship, but media rights to the tournaments are increasing by 81%. Well, it should come as no surprise that the biggest markets in esports at the moment are in China and North America. It can be argued that China have the most talented players as they pulled in $68 million last year, the most out of any country. Sweden are at the forefront of European countries, pulling in $23 million last year. Today, many major sports clubs also have their own esports teams. Take PSG for example. They founded an esports team in 2016 and participate in leagues such as Dota 2, FIFA and League of Legends. But it's not just football teams that are also trying to hire professional gamers. In 2016, the Philadelphia 76ers became the first North American professional sports team to purchase 2 esports teams called Dignitas and Apex. And the price of this deal was rumoured to be between $5 and $15 million. So who are some of the people that are making big money in the scene? Well, Kuro Takasumi is one of them. He won $3 million last year at the 2017 International Dota 2 tournament. This is the highest amount that has ever been won and is probably small in comparison to what others will earn in the future. We'll take a look at his team and their story later on.
Both esports and gaming have seen just phenomenal growth over the past 5 to 10 years because video games are a lot of fun.
People like games, and not everyone likes physical activities. Might be one thing. So this just serves to that demographic of non-athletic people who enjoy challenging others to skirmishes.
It's very similar to watching any physical sport that we've watched on ESPN because there's a story, there's the moment, there's the the big plays. Just like in a game of basketball, it's like creating that great move or creating that great pass.
The strategy, the twists and turns. I mean, it's intense. That's the best way to put it.
Being able to operate physically and stay focused and run algorithms and dissect your opponent and see things within a game that others don't see.
You have to have the physical, emotional, and mental strength to be able to deal with it, and that's why it's a sport.
If you're going to reach for that level, it's going to take a determination, a discipline, a persistence. It's going to, just like succeeding in anything in life.
They study it to no end. I see the work that's put in. They deserve it, they expect it. How do you get to that level of confidence? You master something.
If you look back historically, it was one-on-one. Maybe there was a console, maybe there was a gaming device, Game Boy, whatever, and then the internet came along and it changed some things. And then the internet got faster, and then it got really fast.
And that really kicked off an explosion, I think, in the esports world.
And so once you could play multiplayer, and it felt like everybody was in the same room, and you can give people shit while you were playing, even though it just made it fun.
So let's finally look at 8 ways you can make money from esports if you are a gamer. You can stream your gameplay live for the world to see. You should aim to build a large audience which you can monetize with ads, or a loyal audience which you can monetize with donations and subscriptions. The biggest platform right now is Twitch, but YouTube gaming is catching up. Hitbox and Beam are also smaller platforms. This is 26-year-old Michael Santana. He streams on Twitch and used to play for the team Digitas. He made $3 million from streaming so far and is the second highest paid streamer. The person in first place earned $4 million but was involved in fraud, so we'll ignore him. A lot of you will recognize this guy, KSI. In 2009, he began uploading footage to YouTube of him playing FIFA. After a year, he had 7,000 subscribers. Another year later, that number tripled. Today, he has over 10 million subscribers, though his channel is no longer based on gaming. It's important to remember it takes a long time to build a live stream audience. You may not break 10 viewers for several months, and you might need several more months to reach 100 viewers. The reality is that some streamers never even make that much, and to make a living, you'll need thousands of regular viewers. You can use services such as Restream.io to stream to multiple sites at the same time. Just remember, there are lots of gamers in this market, so why should anyone watch you over plenty of established streams? You need to set yourself apart by having a unique personality or become a world-class player. I mean, look at KSI. He's not the best gamer in the world, but his personality has definitely got him far.
Well, my headset's broke, that's for sure. You know what? It's time to be a man.
So if you think live streaming is for you, then you'll be happy to know that the barriers to entry are low. All you need is a decent computer, some games that viewers will want to watch, and a unique personality. Also get yourself some streaming software. If you're using PC, then Open Broadcaster software is free, open source, and even works on Linux. For console gaming, there are various internal and external game capture softwares that you can use. So research which ones are best for you. Remember to check out some successful Twitch streamers to see what makes an enjoyable stream and how they tap into their audiences. The second way to make money from esports as a gamer is to produce guides. Noobs love reading guides, especially for multiplayer games. You can either create a website for written guides upload video guides to YouTube, or publish guides as ebooks. The website and YouTube can be monetized with ads, whereas with ebooks, you earn revenue from sales. Anybody can write a guide, to be honest, so to make a living you need to create guides for popular games, but the more popular the game, the more guide writing competition. So set your guides apart from everyone else and offer insight that others can't provide. This means you'll need to invest a ton of time into a game and set yourself apart as an expert. On top of that, your writing skills are going to need to be superb. Remember, guides need to be dense and comprehensive, as when it's too wordy, people will lose interest. If you're publishing an ebook, then your formatting skills are going to need to be on point. Try find a popular game, figure out what players are having trouble with, then learn the ins and outs of that problem. Once you've done this, you can then teach others how to overcome it themselves. In massively multiplayer online role-playing games, aim for gold guides, leveling guides, and raid guides. For player versus player games, go for character guides and mechanic guides. The third way gamers can make money through esports is through podcasts. You can create a daily, weekly, or monthly show related to gaming, and you can also release this through video. It could be an opinion-based roundtable discussion, a series of interviews with high-profile players, or tips and tricks for a certain game. Podcasts and YouTube videos can be monetized with ads, but this format can also be supported through Patreon subscriptions. Again, you'll need to build a fairly large audience before any revenue comes in. You need knowledge and insight of the gaming industry, but also the charisma of a streamer. Luckily, the content doesn't need to be as deep as a guide or as flamboyant as a streamer.
What's up, Fortnite fans? My name is KL Smith, and we have some big competitive news. You may have seen our previous blog announcing $100 million to fund Fortnite prize pools. Now, in less than a year, we've grown to 125 million players. And to celebrate the community and competitive play, we're pumped to announce the 2019 Fortnite World Cup. We'll be supporting community-run events, online events, and major competitions all over the world. Anyone can participate and anyone can win. You will have a chance to grab a Fortnite World Cup spot by competing in official qualifiers around the globe. The $100 million prize money will be split between many events at all different levels of competition. Fortnite World Cup will focus on solos and duos, but there will be plenty of opportunities for you to squad up in competition too. This is for you, the players. Qualifying for the Fortnite World Cup will be based on merit, and Epic will not be selling teams or franchises, and we won't allow third-party leagues to do so either.
So this is where the money is. Competitive gaming. Tournaments are common for player versus player games, and the more popular a game, the larger the prize pools become. 400 million people watch these tournaments, and half of the viewers don't even play games. If you're good enough to join an esports team, you may earn a livable salary. Most competitive gamers also take advantage of live streaming for additional income. Not everyone can be a world-class player. You can get knocked out early in a tournament and leave with 0 winnings. Even if you do win some money, it may not cover your hotel and flight costs. If you aren't consistently at the top, you should probably forget about living on winnings, though there are some success stories.
One of the oldest orgs in the scene, Team Liquid was already known for their teams and other esports titles and their widely used esports database, Liquipedia. But in Dota 2, their success was fleeting, until Kuroki. The org began their journey in Dota 2 in 2012, with mixed results. It wasn't until 2015, when they signed Kuro's newly built 5 Youngs team to the roster, that they finally began to see some serious potential. The roster was built by Kuro himself, for one purpose only. After a solid start in their first year together at the International 6, change needed to happen. And during the 2016-2017 season, Team Liquid added the Maverick Miracle and put their trust in a brand new talent, GH, a decision that would prove to be extremely lucrative. At TI7, the team was pushed to the lower bracket after only their first main stage game, one loss away from going home right at the beginning. Team Liquid, they defied the odds though, and went on a killing spree in that lower bracket, eliminating 5 opponents back-to-back to face Newbie for the TI7 championship title last year. To the average viewer, it was an unexpected and lucky run. But for Liquid, it was no fluke. This was a plan years in the making, a calculated series of events to claim their destiny.
The esports industry is still very young, and even if you get a position on a popular team, the salary may be below minimum wage. The industry is plagued with con artists and thieves who prey on naive gamers, and it's not unusual to hear about players never getting paid. So find a popular player versus player game like Call of Duty with lots of tournaments and heavy interest in esports organizations, and practice. I mean, look at this guy.
They introduced us to two young gamers who had just been scouted by a professional team.
How many hours do you put in per day or per week?
일주일이면은 84시간 아닌가? 88시간 일주일에. 자고 씻고 밥 먹는 시간을 빼고는 그냥 컴퓨터 앞에서 사는 거죠.
Do you have a plan if it doesn't work out in gaming?
없어요.
As you get better, you can network with other professional gamers to get your name out there. But to be honest, you might consider making money from streaming instead, as this is really intensive.
I have to say, I think the most precious moment that happened on stage for me was when Shot, after winning all of Heroes of the Dorm with his team, Arizona State, was looking at his mom off stage, who's just bawling, and she's so proud of him, and she's been learning how to Twitter, you know, the whole time. And I'd been talking to him about how important it was to him to give this opportunity to his family, for him to take the burden of his college education off of his mom. And I asked him, you know, what do you want to say to your mom right now? You're looking right at her. Your mom is in the audience. What do you want to say to Mama Shot?
Mom, you don't have to pay. I got you.
He actually eventually fell to his knees on stage, just couldn't even bear the weight of his happiness and fell to his knees. And then I fell to my knees because I couldn't bear to see him down there alone, and we just got to like hug and cry on stage, all because we had this common ground of esports. And
if you are a gamer, you might also want to consider journalism. You can write news, reviews, and interviews for a specific game, genre, or industry. You can create your own journalism site, which you can monetize with ads or Patreon subscriptions. Or you can work for an established site on a paid per article basis. But remember, it's quite competitive. Lots of people want to write about games for a living. If you're writing on an existing site, you'll need to work for pennies to establish a portfolio and hone your skills. If you're starting your own site, it will take years to build an audience from which you'll be working for a living wage. Plus, journalism can be quite demanding. It's going to take time to do reviews and interviews, and it can be a mental drain. But if this is something for you, then look for positions on medium-sized gaming sites and have writing samples on hand. Good luck. Another method to consider is games testing. Since games go through various stages of development, when they are near completion, developers often need outsiders to come and test these games. Your job is to test everything they want you to test, and that includes finding and documenting bugs and issues. Take GameTester.co for example. They provide a unique platform for developers to ask questions to the community. Usually they will ask 5 questions such as, do you really think this product is worth $50? Or, would you recommend this game to your friends? You receive a reward, and you can use this to buy gaming gear in their online shop. There are a few ways to make money from game servers, and this includes donations, running ads, and selling products. You should find a server to rent from a well-known company. Remember to choose a map that you know people want to play on. Then you should advertise your server on Facebook and other social media platforms. You need to get people to play on it and keep coming back. When you have regular players, you can then add a donation button to show when players are on the game. Patreon and PayPal are methods you can use to achieve this. There are affiliate programs you can participate in. You can place banners on your server and be paid per time or per view, or paid a percentage of a customer's purchase if they use your link. You can sell premium content through your server. For example, if you play Minecraft, you can use the Buycraft store and design game skins yourself. If designing is not your best skill, you can find people online on sites like Fiverr to design it for you, and then sell these skins in the shop. You could also create real-world items and gaming accessories. This will be a long process, but can generate you sales. To reduce the risk of holding unwanted inventory, you can use dropshipping partners like Incredible to link your Shopify account. Just remember, if you outsource production, your profit margins will drop. With Minecraft, you can also charge people to see additional content that you have created. If you have the coding skills to create worlds that players want to see more of, then you can add mini games and take PayPal or Patreon payments. If you're really brave, you might want to host game servers yourself. As a new company, you will need to prove yourself. However, if you do make it in this field, profit margins could be up to 75% before tax. You need to consider though how much you're spending on marketing. Therefore, you should read up on SEO and find out how you can attract lots of free traffic from Google.
You know, the betting on sports for us in general, as you probably know, is highly technical when it comes to creating odds and markets and live betting and things like that, and it's a very manual process. In esports, the potential is much higher to increase not only the type of bets on the betting markets, but to automate it and increase the frequency of betting markets and things like that. There's the potential for skill-based betting as well as spectator betting on an odds system. Esports betting has a massive future. It's an audience that tends to skew younger, but as they get older and they're more into more esports and esports is growing, we think that there's a very strong future for us. Currently we operate in the UK and Australia, and we have been gauging markets around the world using a free-to-play platform. So we have a list of top targets. Obviously there's places around Europe that are very important to us, but it's places that where esports is popular and betting is also popular as well. So, I think you probably could think of some of the areas that are interesting to us, but I'll say that we are a global company. We're building a platform that reaches around the world. It's just a matter of working with local partners to set up licenses and work with regulators.
Now we promote responsible gambling at Money Moves. But if this is something that you do, then you might want to consider eSports betting. You can participate in esports and skin gambling. Even if you're not a gamer, most traditional sporting gambling sites have esports features and allow people to bet on an esports and gaming event. Look here at Sky Bet, offering odds on quite a few games. Skin betting is very popular among esports fans. A lot of games feature virtual currencies and other items that can be transferred between players, and dedicated players are seeking these products. You can buy, sell, or swap your skins on auction and trade websites, where users deposit their skins into a website and it will generate a dollar amount. Users can place bets based on the value of these skins. The odds for a team to win are just generated by the ratio of bets on them versus the bets against them. In return, winners receive their original skin bet as well as new skins or items, and this is based on the win percentage of a random value. There are also a lot of different skin gambling lotteries and jackpots. The best examples are CSGO lottery sites, which are similar to roulette. These pools can run every 30 seconds to a minute. Players can win or lose hundreds of dollars in items within seconds. A lottery pool can be anything from $200 to $10,000. There are numerous videos of gamers on YouTube placing 10k bets and losing them within seconds. So let's finally look at ways that non-gamers can make money from the esports market. The first method is through venture capitalist funds with esports exposure. Bitcraft is the only true esports-only VC fund I can find. There are other funds investing frequently in esports who have substantial knowledge but also have non-esports exposure. For example, Deep Space Ventures and March Capital. You need to remember that most of these funds are not only investing in esports, so they might have exposure to other markets that you are already invested in or don't have interest in investing in. There are esports-focused VC funds coming out, so continue to watch this market. Your money may be tied up for 7 to 10 years, and the capital that's required to invest at an institutional level is large. Therefore, if becoming a limited partner in a VC fund is not an option for you, then you might want to consider finding companies to invest in yourself. This is still early stage financing, however investing in one startup is highly risky, so diversify your holdings by buying other assets in different industries. A more appropriate option may be to invest in eSport related stocks. Esports related stocks have boomed 150% in a year compared to 46% for music and 29% for film. One company to possibly look out for is the chip maker Nvidia. They have been in the press quite a lot thanks to the considerable success from the growth of the cryptocurrency market. And it seems they are also benefiting from the digital gaming industry. This division accounts for more than half of the company's sales, and its chips are the fastest growing gaming processors in the world. If esports is the wave of the future, then Nvidia may be one of the companies that are best positioned to benefit from this. Tencent Holdings are the developer behind League of Legends, the most watched esports game in the world. The League of Legends Championship drew 60 million viewers last year, a 40% increase from the year before. They are also going to launch a competitive gaming channel in China and have committed $15 billion to the fund. Though, to be honest, the brain force behind the esports industry right now is Activision Blizzard. They are the ones that run the Overwatch League, which could contribute between $75 and $100 million of revenue in 2018, and that could double next year. The league has attracted over 10 million viewers and has attracted major sponsors such as HP, Intel, and T-Mobile. The final way investors can get involved is through cryptocurrency investments. The ICOs related to this industry are selling fast. For example, Slither.tv raised $20 million in just 48 hours. The aim is to improve the bandwidth during esports streaming. NRG's Engine Coin raised over $75 million, and this is to provide tokens for in-game purchases. World of Battles also recently released their ICO.
World of Battles is a revolutionary esports platform enabling players anywhere in the world to challenge each other and win rewards. Existing platforms present players with serious problems. Server downtime and faults are common. Game disputes sometimes depend on people who can be bribed to sue you. Most companies are wholly controlled by their owners, and user fees are often confiscated or fall into the hands of hackers. World of Battles is a decentralized gaming platform that solves all these problems. It eliminates network interruptions, verifies game results, thus automatically resolving disputes, and keeps users' money safe. These innovations will bring significant improvement to esports. They will make for fully automated, safe, and much more enjoyable gaming.
Because this industry is booming, you want to pick coins that have a high correlation to the underlying value of the company. Be sure to keep up to date with regulation in this industry, especially in the US, as there are nuances in the law regarding whether cryptocurrencies are securities or not. Well, if investing is not for you, or you want to have even more action in this industry, then maybe consider a job or career in this field. Whether you work in finance, business development, or marketing, or maybe you're a game designer, clothing designer, or translation expert, then the list of jobs that you can do in this industry are long. Take a look at this infographic from jobsontoast.com. Do any of these jobs stand out to you? Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new about the esports industry. Please remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Comment below on what you think of esports and if there's any other industries you'd like us to cover.